Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another reading. This time, it's going to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So, first things first, Erika Girardi. I've never done a reading on her. People have asked me a lot. They want to know, did she know what was going on with her husband or not? If you don't know, her husband was a high-profile lawyer who worked with people like Erin Brockovich and stuff like that, who was caught allegedly stealing funds from, I think it was like disaster relief people, something like that. I'm not sure exactly, don't quote me. And a lot of people wondering if she was a part of it or if she knew what was going on. It's like the biggest thing. It was a storyline for the past 2 seasons. Also, something controversial just happened where she said something mean or something about Garcelle, son, and now Garcelle's son is getting a ton of hate on social media and people wondering if it's bots or if it's real, and there's allegations of Diana Jenkins being behind it and all sorts of stuff. So I figured, why don't I start with the Erika angle that I never did, which is if she knew or she didn't know, and then kind of go into the state of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I love the Housewives. And I've always wanted to do readings on them, but I don't know if anyone would watch, so I guess I'll use this as a test. So if you like Real Housewives, let me know what other readings you want me to do on them. If this does well, then I'll do the other ones. I don't watch Beverly Hills and haven't watched Beverly Hills since Brandy left because I thought she was the only entertaining one. So I'm not really sure 100% what's going on, but I know enough, right? Like I know enough. The Housewives that I watch are Jersey. I love Teresa. Atlanta, Potomac, and New York, but New York's gone now. So yeah. Anyways, these are all alleged for entertainers only, and let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start with Tom and Erika. So I guess on the left will be Erika, on the right will be Tom, and the energy between the two of them. Okay, so Erika is an Ace of Swords reversed. That's about regrets. So that's really interesting. Tom is an 8 of Cups. He's running away from his problems. That's not shocking. Between the two of them, a lack of empathy and nurturing. Again, probably not super shocking. I don't think it's very shocking for people to see the Empress reverse. So she's always been kind of like a cold character. I think both of them lack some certain nurturing qualities. I will say I don't think that she's pleased with Tom. In fact, I would say that she's definitely resentful of Tom. So Star is reversed. That's her feeling like a lot of this happened because she's a celebrity. The 3 of Wands is reversed, and the 10 of Cups. You guys, okay, you're not going to believe me. You guys are not going to believe me. I think she was blindsided. The 3 of Wands is about something out of nowhere. And the 3 of Wands is also about trusting the wrong person sometimes when it's reversed, because it means there was someone else involved here. So there has to be someone else involved in this business. And the 10 of Cups is like my happily ever after. If I'm being honest with you, do I think that she knew what was going on to the level that you guys think that she knew? No. I think that she knew to keep her mouth shut, her head down, and mind her business. So do I think that she thought that perhaps there was some shady things going on? Yeah. Do I think that she was inquisitive and looking to see what it was? No, she turned a blind eye. So that's actually what I see, is I see her turning a blind eye. Absolutely. That's what I see. Allegedly, from the chambers only, all opinion here. I think she turned a blind eye. I think that to some extent she figured maybe something was going on, but I don't think she knew what, and she didn't care. The Wheel of Fortune is reversed, the 6 of Cups is reversed, and the 9 of Swords is reversed. That's things that have happened in the past. The Wheel of Fortune is bad luck, and the 9 of Swords. I think a lot of her is just like, I don't want to go back to my old lifestyle and the way things were. It was too hard for me. Was she, I don't remember her story exactly. Was she like a single mom? Because it's like, I don't want to have to deal with that again. The 9 of Swords reversed. There's a lot of stress and anxiety. I also think that she was looking at, so Tom distracted her. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? I do not, okay, you guys are not going to like this. Again, I don't really watch the show. I'm not really a fan of these girls, like I said before, so come for me if you want. I actually don't think that she's that smart. So you guys, she's like, it's the same thing that like, it's like the Teresa Giudice thing again, although I think that perhaps she's a little bit more calculated than Teresa's. I don't think she's intelligent enough to run an operation. The Wheel of Fortune's reversed, the Six of Cups is reversed, and the Nine of Swords. I'm telling you right now, Tom knew how to distract her. So if she asked a question or if she was confused about something, he would say, oh, this person's a disgruntled employee who's mad about this, or oh, I have this issue that I'm dealing with, or oh, that's taken from this thing, or oh, that's taken from that thing. So actually what I see is him consistently distracting her with bullshit. I'm pretty sure that's what he was alleged to have done, which is like take money from one person and give it to the other person, then owe the other person, and then take money from another person and then give that person. It was like a scheme basically of constantly owing people. I feel like he did the same thing to her. And I think that part of her was like, something's off about this, but whatever, you know, it's not my business, whatever. He was very good at this. You guys, okay, I know everyone's like hating on Erika, but I'm getting a lot about Tom. Tom is a master manipulator. And if you think that he didn't manipulate her, I think you're a bit naive. He is very good, all alleged friend timbers only. He is very, 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 very good at finding a legitimate excuse for why something happened. But what they don't realize is he created that problem in order to have a legitimate excuse. So that's why he was so good at distracting from issues, because he would create a sub issue, use that as the issue, the reason why the whole thing was an issue, and get away with shit. So he's very good at distracting, and I think he was very good at distracting her. If I'm being honest, I think, has she talked about this? There was a part of her that thought about hiring. Okay, I hear him. Okay, so what I'm seeing is I see her kind of like thinking about, should I hire a private investigator? I don't think she thought he was scamming people. I think she thought he was cheating and with another bitch or doing other things. I don't think she thought he was scamming. I think she thought he was sneaking around for other reasons. I don't know if she's talked about that, because she was suspicious, but not of him stealing money or taking things from people, but of him doing something with other bitches or other people, or like other people he worked with. There is a certain person, there's a guy that she never trusted that was around him for a while. There's a man that she never trusted that was around him for a while. He did not like her. I think he knew that his wife was smart enough to figure some things out, so he would breadcrumb her to go down a different rabbit hole. He has very, very much covered his tracks for a long time. This man is very good at covering his tracks. Page of Cups reverse, Eight of Wands upright, and Five of Swords. He knew how to elicit emotional reaction to her. This is the type of guy that would pretend to cheat just to make her think that he's cheating so that she wouldn't stick her nose in his business. Like I'm telling you right now, he's had a game with her for so long. I think that's why she's so angry. I think that's why she's angry and has so much resentment and a lot of regret, because I think she's angry with herself for not realizing. I think she's angry at the fact that she was on wild goose chases. She suspected him. I'm pretty sure she suspected. I think she suspected him of cheating or like doing things with others or something. And this was like the last thing on her mind. Damn. He preyed on her emotions to get the emotional reaction to distract her. He's fucking good. You guys, I really don't think she's the most evil person you've met. I don't think she's completely like an innocent person, but I just don't think she's the most evil. I think that she got bamboozled, just like he bamboozled everyone. I don't think she's very good at showing her emotions, which is probably why no one believes her. I know she's a very cold type of person. I think that she's her own undoing. She's so worried about her image that she's not realizing. I think it's her pride. I don't think she'd want to admit that she thought that he was screwing her over, like emotionally or cheating or doing anything. Like, I think it's her pride. You guys, I really don't think she was aware. I really don't think she was as aware. I really don't, you guys. Fuck, this is going to be controversial. You guys are not going to believe me, but I actually don't think, I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm shocked. I expected her to be a little bit more savvy here, but no, this man had her he had her on a wild goose chase for years, bitch. For years. This man knew how to distract people. He was planning like 5 years in advance. He knew he'd eventually get caught, and he had his plan. You are not going to get me to believe that this man has dementia. I'm sorry. Maybe he does, and I could be wrong. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but all I can tell you is right now what I'm seeing is a man who planned 5 years in advance, was always 5 steps ahead of everyone else, and planned 5 years in advance. And if people are suspicious about that, I think it's valid because he planned shit in advance. He had his get out of jail free card for a long time coming. I also think he knew that if he were to go down, other people would go down, so he was ready to pull others with him. I'm telling you right now, if she were to able to be, if she could find something out, he would distract her with. So I'm telling you, I think he would use men or women, I'm not sure, but he would use people to plant fake shit to distract her. Like, you owe me a favor, so I need you to go do this, and it would be something to send his wife on a wild goose chase. He would send her on wild goose chases. I'm telling you, he would use people to pretend to do shit to send her on wild goose chases that owed him favors. He'd cash in favors. I'm telling you, this girl has been fucking gaslit for years. That is why she has no emotions. You guys are wondering why Erika has no emotions? She was gaslit for years. I am trying not to sit here and be like an Erika apologist, but I'm not going to lie to you guys with what I see. He fucking played her like a fiddle. That is the apathy, the Four of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. That's about all the arguing, all the fighting, all the stress, all the whatever. And the Page of Pentacles will be about expectations and money. So he also was very good at giving her gifts whenever she would get close. If she were to get close, that's when she got her big gifts. If she were to find something out, that's when she would get stuff like that. A part of her would be like, oh, well, he's sorry. He's giving me gifts. Even though he wasn't actually cheating or didn't actually care, even if he was, that wasn't even what he was doing. He was just trying to distract her. Everything he did was a distraction. The gifts were a distraction. The problems he caused in their relationship were fake and a distraction. It was an entire game since the beginning. Their entire relation was a game, and for him to consistently distract her until he couldn't anymore. That is exactly what I see happening. I do not think that she had any idea of how serious things were and what was really going on. I don't think so. So I could be wrong, but I'm going to stick to what I see. Interestingly enough, the Three of Pentacles reversed and the Death card is upright. I think she asked him about advice or something for a business. I think she wanted to start her own business or do something, and he shut it down. I think that was the catalyst for her starting to get too close for comfort. This has to be recent. This has to be post Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. There was something she wanted to do for herself, and she was asking him questions, and something he was doing or saying was shady and not right, and he was shutting it down. She was getting too close. It has to do with a business she was trying to create. Like an actual, like maybe it was the brand, or maybe it was the way she was working with her money. Maybe it was the music, but there was something where she was hiring outside help, and when she was hiring outside help or thinking of hiring outside help, he was worried about them realizing what he was doing. As soon as she was bringing other people in, he was worried that she would find out that the things that he was doing were not legal, allegedly. Okay, I'm going to move on a little bit. So I'm going to do a little bit of a reading on Garcelle and see what's going on there. So let's kind of look really quickly before we end this about Garcelle. I cannot believe this. Maybe I need to do another reading on Erika. If there's something you want to know about Erika that I missed, let me know, and maybe I'll do another one. I would love to do a video with Emily D. Baker on this, honestly. Okay. Let's look at Garcelle. Ooh, Garcelle is walking on eggshells on this show. Okay, there's definitely something from Garcelle's past. It might be tied to a man, I'm not sure, but there's definitely something from Garcelle's past that she's absolutely afraid will be brought out. One of the girls is looking for it. I don't know what it is, but one of the girls is looking for something from her past to humiliate her. I could tell you that right off the bat. The Hermit's reversed, the Seven of Wands is upright, and the Magician. I think a lot of the girls feel like Garcelle is very good with her words, and because she's very good with her words, she's a threat. Magician and Seven of Wands is like, you're the underdog. You came over here, and you're able to speak in a way in which you get ahead of us. So I think a lot of them are very upset at the fact that her word choice and the way she communicates is efficient. I think a lot of them feel like she's fake because they feel like what she says is strategic. To be honest, I guess fake is a strong word. Garcelle is very aware and hyper aware of the fact that she has a camera in front of her. So are they. And so I think the accusation here is that she's playing holier than thou. Again, I haven't watched the show, but what I can tell you from the cards, I don't think they're inherently wrong. But I think it's more so that Garcelle has some secrets that she doesn't want exposed, so she's trying to play the perfect role. I actually think if Garcelle did what they wanted her to do, which is just be realer, I actually think she would be even more popular and it would piss them off even further. So if anything, Garcelle's honestly helping them by being too strategic with her words. If she was a little bit more, I don't want to say messy, but a little bit more rough around the edges in terms of the way she communicated and not so perfect all the time, it would honestly only benefit her. So I want to kind of see what's going on with like the kid stuff. Like I know one of her kids was getting hate comments, so I kind of want to look at that. The King of Swords is upright, the Fool is upright, and the Page of Wands. So Page of Wands is about expressing a truth, right? So you think of like a hard, honest truth. The Fool is the kid, and the King of Swords, to me, is where it's coming from. Now, King of Swords, potential air sign. I mean, I guess it could be a female. It could be a female who just has very masculine energy. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is a cast member. Just because the king is not what would describe a housewife. I'm sorry, it just wouldn't. It doesn't feel like a housewife to me. The Eight of Swords is feeling trapped in pressure. The Justice card is upright, and the Death card, a death and rebirth, the Justice card. So I think that some of the girls are thinking that Garcelle did this on purpose to make herself seem like a victim because they feel like they're being accused and it's not them. That's a conspiracy theory, but I understand why they feel that way because I actually don't think any of the cast members have done this. The King of Swords makes me think of someone connected to the fan base, or I guess I should say connected to one of the girls. So to me, I'm thinking so it's a masculine energy connected to one of the girls. Knight of Cups reversed, High Priestess reversed, and Lovers card upright. So Lovers. Husband? Wait, did she say something about someone's husband? Did she say something about someone's husband? Let's talk about the husband. Did she say something about someone's husband? Have some bread. Like, I'm like, what? Why am I getting someone's spouse here related to this? The World is reversed, the Five of Pentacles upright, and the Four of Cups. Maybe it's not a spouse. Maybe it's a lover. She pissed someone off. Wait, she pissed someone off that's... She pissed someone off. This is not housewife related. Did she say anything on the reel or anything like that that was controversial? This is not housewife related. She pissed someone off previously. It reminds me of someone who knows someone at a network or knows someone high up. She pissed someone else off and they jumped on this opportunity to cause a problem. You have an enemy Garcelle has an enemy somewhere else. And I think it might be related to whatever she doesn't want to talk about. Like whatever she's hiding, this person might be related to that. But all I can tell you is she has an enemy somewhere else in this industry. That's who's to blame for this. I don't know if it's someone's husband. The Lovers card could indicate like maybe she talked about someone who was married to someone. It could also just be like she talking about someone who's connected to someone else. Like Lovers doesn't always mean direct love. To me, it could be like related. So think of it this way, right? Like let's say she's on The Real and she talks shit about someone who's connected to a different network, right? And that person's high up at the network and that person's pissed and they're like, let's troll her because she's fucking, I don't like her. She said something mean or whatever. And they're like, what a great way to, cause problems. I'm going to jump on the first issue I have and make it worse. Like for me, this person's bandwagoning housewife drama. I think that's why this has never happened on Housewives before, because the person that's doing this is not connected to Housewife. If they are connected to Housewives, they're loosely connected to one of the people on Housewives. I doubt one of them asked to call in a favor. It's possible, but I genuinely believe that this person has an axe to grind with Garcelle because of something she said either on The Real or previously about them or someone close to them. So... because the moon is like a lie. It's like, bitch, you spread a lie about me, so I'm coming for you. And I have no qualms of doing whatever it takes to cause problems. And they think it's funny that the other housewives are getting blamed. Garcelle has some fucking enemies, and she had enemies before she got on this show. Damn. Garcelle's problem, at least, I think this is why Garcelle doesn't really care about all the stuff on the show. I think it's because the least of her problems is this show. The show is like child's play compared to the shit that she's dealing with. There's a lot under the surface. She's a very complex woman. There's a lot under the surface. She's got a lot of secrets. They're not like, I don't think she's a bad person. If anything, I think she's been through a lot. So let me rephrase this before you guys misinterpret what I'm saying. Garcelle's a very strong person. And I don't think she likes to talk about her problems and the issues. So she reminds me a lot of, like, I say this all the time about myself. So I'm going to use one of my favorite terms. She's a survivor, not a victim. So for her, she doesn't talk about her trauma or her past experiences because it doesn't make her who she is anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like it's shaped her, but she's gotten past it. She's a survivor. She doesn't want people to feel sorry for her and she doesn't want a sob story. So she'll just take it on the chin. And so I'm pretty sure that is why a lot of this is like secretive and there's a lot of skeletons in her closet, not because she did something wrong, but because she knows where a lot of bodies are buried. She's been screwed over by a lot of people and she's made a lot of enemies because she has too much information. And so I think that a lot of times she doesn't want to share it because she doesn't want to be vulnerable and she doesn't want people to see that side of her. But I think she knows eventually that this is going to start to unravel and people are going to start to talk about this. And this is one of her old enemies, period. I stand by that. That's what I see. If there's anything else you want to know about Beverly Hills or any other housewives, let me know. If this does really well, request more. Please share this with other fans because it is a bit of a niche audience. So if it doesn't get shared and do well, I won't be able to do more. Remember, if you like these tips, there's a link to my PayPal down below. There's also a button down below on YouTube that's a heart that you can give money to directly. It says thanks. And until next time, good luck. Follow me on my socials, Antphrodite everywhere as well. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube.